Hey, everybody, welcome to Nightwave Radio. I know I can't pronounce your name right, so I'm going to let you tell who you are.
My name is Jerry.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having
All
me.
right, you're welcome. I'm glad you had time because I hear you're a busy person, you and your husband. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're over the road truck drivers, so we just got back home. Oh goodness, probably closing in on about 1 o'clock this morning. So got a nap, got up, got going, did some chores.
how's the music? Trying to be a truck driver and all this stuff. How's that play into what you're doing? I mean,
Well, well, we're not playing out, so that's one.
right.
Most of everything that we're trying to do to keep things rolling. I mean, we need to take care of. It's kind of compressed, so we're pretty busy during that time. But
Right.
it's actually pretty great. I mean, music's been rolling out on a bunch of different stations, and so we've been able to listen and meet all kinds of people and talk to all kinds of people. And so, some things like that we can do while we're on the road. Some other things we have to wait till we get home.
Do you have time to set up when I know you're out on the road and stuff,
Hmm.
but do you have time to set up somewhere and maybe play for a crowd of people or say,
No, I mean, I wish we would be able to do that, but no, the type of run that we do is just straight from terminal to terminal, from out to California every week and straight back. So we're running pretty steady for 5 days a week, and so there's not any there's no stopping time.
well, I didn't know, I didn't know if you had time or something to stop and, while you're at a truck stop or something, eating or taking a break, a rest period or whatever, that you would be, singing or something, like some of the artists, independent artists doing these restaurants or whatever, they go out and, and
Well,
set up and sing.
our truck is actually running 24 hours a day. Is the whole business model. My husband and I are both driving, so when someone's driving, someone's sleeping, and
Right.
so the schedule is too tight to do anything like that while we're out. So
Okay.
we try to schedule things like that for when we're at home. And if there's something that really comes up, I mean, we can ask for time off, but during our regular working week, there's not really an availability to do something like that. But I do some call-in, interviews and things like that. I've done a couple of FaceTime interviews, out on the truck. I can do something like
Right.
that, but just pull over and go ahead and do the interview that way. So we have been able to do things like that.
Well, with y'all and appreciate, all y'all do as a truck driver. I know we need to talk about your music and stuff, but we'll appreciate you and your husband as a truck driver because y'all are the ones that's getting our life from different factories. If y'all hauling food or clothes to stores, y'all are being very appreciated, at least in my house.
Well, thank you very much. No,
You know,
we feel pretty appreciated. I mean, everybody's generally happy to see us. So for the most part, we really don't know what we're hauling, unless there's hazardous materials. I know that
right,
he has been hauling, some medical supplies, and we don't haul food, but we do haul pretty much everything else. Basically, it's
right.
a see with UPS is kind of what we're hauling. So we
Oh,
pull
okay.
just it's full of miscellaneous things. I'm sure there's a lot of Amazon product in the back.
Well, again, we still appreciate it because even if you're hauling, something for the medical, you know, we still appreciate it because if it wasn't for the truck drivers and, I've been around this stuff all my life, but if it wasn't for the truck drivers and the people out there that, the factory workers like I used to be or in a store or whatever, but we appreciate, from my respect, I appreciate all the help y'all are doing for us.
Well, thank you very much. We have felt very fortunate. So
And your music, do you have time to write, or I know you say you're on the road,
Mm-hmm.
But do you, does that music that you sing and stuff, a lot of it, does it come from the road or from
No,
the heart?
not what I have done thus far. I have not written the songs that we have released right now.
Right.
There is time to do some writing because we got obviously time to think. There's a lot of time to think while you're driving. So there's always thoughts for songs and things, kind of running through my head. So, but as of what's out right now, these have been written by other people.
Oh, okay. Do your husband play with you in the band, or does he sing with you, or just you?
Just me. He's my technical support, my bodyguard, moral support, a manager. But he always says he's not much of a manager because I'm always telling him no. He's he's the whole reason we're here talking right now. Because if it were me, I'd just be singing to the radio in the truck. So
That's probably about the, well, I'd be listening to the radio. I don't sing too much. I ain't got a singing voice. As I tell everybody, they say, "Can you sing?" I said, "Yeah, let me turn the knob up here." But, but I love doing what I do here with Nightwave Radio and helping all of y'all independent artists out and trying to get y'all heard because I feel like that's what I'm here for.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
So, but what do people need to know about your music and stuff? Where to go get it? How to find you, or stuff like that.
Well, they can find out about my music mostly. I do have a website,
Yes,
JinnieTerryMusic.com.
ma'am.
Facebook seems to be where most of the communication takes place as far as letting people know what's going on at this point in time. Jill and TJ, with Nashville Entertainment Weekly,
Yes.
have done a fine job of keeping us hopping. So they've really kept us busy, which has been pretty terrific. So Facebook, the 2 songs that I have released right now are available on all the streaming services, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, anywhere that you can find those. That's where you'll find those.
Right.
And we do have a YouTube channel set up that is kind of in its infancy. So there's a couple of videos on there. We're trying to add to it as we go along. And well, I guess that's about it at this time.
So, how long you been singing? What started your career?
Well, I've been singing since I was about 8 years old or so. My mom at that time was married to a drummer. And so long about then is when I first climbed up onto the stage at the VFW and was singing, House of the Rising Sun and Silver Wings. And it's just been going ever since.
Okay. So you like a lot of them. You got your start real young and you love it. It's sort of like me, I went back to my roots and stuff. And when I started the radio station, I trying to look for a younger crowd, a mix of but I found out it didn't work so good. So I went back to my roots, the way I grew up, just like you say, country music. I mean, it's out there, and I think today's younger group, or a lot of them, wants to listen to, country music.
Oh, I think you're right.
Before all this pandemic, happened with the COVID-19, you would see younger people at some of the outside concerts that they could go to. To listen to a lot of the independent people.
Well, they're playing too. A lot of younger people are playing and getting out there. So
yeah,
it's really a pleasure to see.
I think a lot of them trying to get back to the roots of country music, the older country. I'm happy to see that. Uh, well, this new country's fine, but I don't know like I was asking about earlier about writing your own songs and stuff. A lot of the artists back then wrote from what happened to them or from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like I posted today a Willie Nelson song,
Mm-hmm.
and "You Always on My Mind."
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, and then I put right after it the artist that wrote it, and I know Willie Nelson sung it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember Elvis sung it, but it was a lot more people that sung that song.
Yes.
And that's why I was getting at you about your song writings,
Yeah. Well, when I'm choosing songs, I mean, that is specifically what I look for. I do look for songs that, portray experiences in my life, or, how I feel, I mean, obviously some things are going to be more serious and some are upbeat and fun, but I mean, I really do try to find songs that, I can put myself into, that are representative of me. And so I'm very particular about which songs I choose.
Okay. So, I like your background. That background I love it.
Thank you.
It reminds me of an old style house. Like I want a log cabin style house. I mean,
Oh, that would be awesome.
but I wouldn't be in this sheetrock room if I had a log cabin style. But no, getting to your music and stuff, I was just trying to find out where you come from
Mm-hmm.
and let the people know, that this is stuff that's like I was saying earlier, come from your heart. The songs you pick that somebody else written, but you pick that certain song because it's dear to you.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Um, I actually have, I've got 13 songs that have been recorded and mastered and ready to go. So at some point over the next several months, we hope to release the whole album. But of those 13, there's only one that had been previously recorded by anybody else.
Okay.
Were all sent to me, from various Nashville writers. And so, goodness, we probably poured over a couple hundred songs over the course of several months, choosing exactly what we wanted. And to cull it down to 13, I think we probably seriously looked at about 25 or 30. And then, we'd kind of, a better one would come along and one would have to drop off the list. You can't
Right.
put songs on an album, that wouldn't work. But I also think it's a good opportunity to celebrate those writers, because there definitely are so many really gifted writers. And so I don't pretend to be in that echelon. So I like to give them as much airplay, publicity and stuff as we can.
Right. Well, they don't get no really, if you think about it, the artist that sings their song,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of some of them, especially the artists that's out there on the road every day from say RCA and all them other labels, they take that song and they sing it and everybody thinks it's their song. They wrote that song and they didn't. So I appreciate you giving the writers, like you just said, all the credit too, because they don't get a lot of credit.
No, most of the time you don't know unless you just are doing some research. But just listening to the radio, you generally don't get that information.
No.
So I, definitely want to put that out there. And I haven't done it recently, but for quite a while when I was younger, I used to record demos for different songwriters, and so I've been trying to be helpful in that department for a long time.
Right.
I know where my strengths lie, and so I'm happy thus far to let other people go ahead and do that. Although it's something I'm interested in, and I would like to, get more practice at it. So we'll see. I'm not there yet, but hopefully in the future.
Well, hopefully, with the stuff that's been going on, and it gets away. one of these days where we can get back to a certain norm, and you know can set up somewhere and sing, and hopefully somebody, it's like I always dream about making a better station than what I do. I try to do the best I can, but it's like you said earlier, Jill and TJ, and I got one more lady, that Paula Burns, and couple, well, maybe three outside of you, artists that I got to be good friends with several years ago, and we talk from now to on the phone and stuff. But what I'm getting at, hopefully y'all can get back out there and start saying, I know, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Bobby Johnson. He's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
He's out of Florida.
Yes, I've heard that name before.
He's come to, he used to write with, I think he said Johnny Cash and some others back in the day. Yeah, he's I don't know how old, he's a retired vet, but and then I got one that lives there in Dunlap, Tennessee, another artist. Him and his wife, both of them are artists. So we talk, Scott Sharp and Trisha Sharp. So that's what I'm saying. I get around to certain, I mean, a lot, me and some of the artists has become good friends, and we talk off air. And I've learned a lot of different things about the radios and the way the artist is getting treated out here, because I tried to get some of them on FM radio where I used to live, on a local FM country radio, and the station didn't want no part of an independent artist.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
And I told them, I said, well, I'm a radio station. I play y'all. And I felt like, y'all should get heard on FM locally, I mean, it's not only fair for the Toby Keith or Reba McEntire get heard, y'all need to be heard too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you spreading the word and helping out and keeping us in the limelight a little bit is, every bit is helpful. And we try to do that in exchange, and pass the word around about the fact that you are promoting people. And so direct some people your way as well.
And I appreciate it. But what I'm getting at, I try to give back. The way I was raised, you look up to others and you do the same as they would do unto you. And I feel like as I get older and stuff, but this started a long time ago. It just didn't start now. I mean, I've been doing radio about 11 years, but what I'm getting at, it was before then. I'd rather help people. And, this musical thing that to get the country music out there, to get y'all heard, to get noticed. At one time, before the server that I used to have crashed, I was in 17 different countries.
Oh, goodness.
Over 2.5 million people listening to y'all. Sadly, that server crashed, so I had to redo everything. And I found this software here. Instead of doing the phone, I decided, hey, let everybody see my ugly face on on the thing, and try to help out them by doing it this way.
Well, it does add a little personal touch, so it is nice to put a face to a name. So,
well, it's like, excuse me, it's like I've said to several different artists, I'd rather put a face instead of sitting here talking on a phone. It's just, I'd rather talk to them in person. Type deal. I know we ain't sitting in front of each other doing this or whatever, but it makes it more real than talking on a phone.
Oh, absolutely. It's wonderful to have these kind of options now. I mean, it's obviously relatively new technology, and I think it's pretty terrific.
Yeah, it's TJ. I talked to TJ and Jill last night. We was doing an interview on me, and we was talking about technology. And I found out once I started this, I was talking to my aunt talking about technology because
Mm-hmm.
in your and y'all got, and your husband should know this too. You got different things now, electronic wise, that's a lot easier than the old days because it was like knobs. Now you got electronics and keys and stuff you can do the stuff with, and you got to learn all that. But
Yeah. It's a constant learning curve.
but I found out through my aunt that her son wrote the first software for radio station on the internet.
Wow.
And so I was going to work with him and see if we could do some different to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't get a chance to do that. He passed away. But what I was trying to do is make it better for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
As an artist, and then I found this software and I thought, dang it, this will work. So anything, you want to say about yourself? I know I've been trying to get you to open up a little bit about yourself, or,
Well, let's see. What is there? What is there more about myself? Oh, gosh. I feel like I've kind of said it. I mean, when people ask me about when I started singing and all that kind of stuff,
right,
I talked about how young I was when I started, but one of the benefits was my mom and I moved around quite a lot when I was younger. Had a pretty nomadic upbringing is a good way of looking at it. And
right,
able to sing made it a lot easier to, be the new kid as often as I was. And so that was something that I could do that, kind of got me noticed and accepted a little bit. And so, that's pretty much where it went from that. And I've done, like I said, I had done demo work for songwriters. I've done TV and radio voiceovers. I just tried to kind of keep busy. I've got had an a cappella group that I sang with for years. It was a couple of other ladies and I that, we were, all raising our kids at the same time. And so we kind of traveled around California a bit, which is where I was living.
right,
We sang anywhere anybody would let us, and we did all kinds of a cappella stuff from the Beatles to the Andrews Sisters to the national anthem, and we just had a ball. So I managed to keep busy, and kind of did also the regular sort of cover band, bar band thing,
right,
done all that coming up. So now well, because we're so busy, because of our schedule, I don't really have the option to have a regular band sitting at the ready all the time.
okay,
But there are plenty of musicians I can pull together and do something. And I've been working with a another guitar player and singer, and so we're working up kind of a duet thing to be doing periodically. And so I managed to keep busy doing this for, well, a pretty long time.
there you go. I know you're gonna do Facebook takeover here in about 6 minutes. Uh, Good luck. I'll be listening.
It's always, yeah, good luck. I appreciate that because you just never know how that's going to go.
Well, yeah, you don't. It's just like setting this up. Right before I set everything up, I come in here about an hour or two earlier to set, it up, and it wouldn't come up. Well, I was trying to post out. I should have done posted it, and I didn't. I stayed up late last night, and I got up at 5. Went to bed at 1, got up at 5, and then I was sitting in there and I fell asleep. And so I heard my phone ding, and it was Jill telling me, "Hey,
Get up."
you know, you need to, she hadn't got nothing from you. And I said, oh God, okay. I didn't post what I said I was going to post either. And so I got on there and posted all of it. And as I was trying to post it, my Facebook page just like, it wouldn't come up. I couldn't figure out what was going on. So it went, I restarted the computer, got it all back up, got Facebook back up, finished that, and set StreamYard up so we could do this show, you know, and it was like, oh my God, am I gonna have time to get this thing together? And I actually had an hour to spare. I went and took supper for me and the wife, and so
for you.
But like I said, you're gonna take over on Nightwave Radio here in about a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I was just going to let you know that, you know, when we do the takeover here, assuming we push all the right buttons, I'm going to be doing 4 of the songs off my upcoming album, including the 2 that I did right now, and then a few others that I do just for fun, and hopefully everybody will enjoy that. And so I really appreciate you having me on and letting me visit and tell you about myself.
Well, hopefully you'll come back. We'll do this again.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm not that much fun sometimes. Sometimes I can get pretty crazy, make everybody laugh, you know, as we do this. It's been nice talking to you.
Well,
I will be on Facebook as soon as we get off here. Be waiting on you to get on there live. So, hey, thanks everybody for joining us here on Nightwave Radio. Here in a few minutes, we're going to have a Facebook takeover on Nightwave Radio. And thank y'all for coming on. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much. See you.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.